Hey, yo, thank you so much for joining me one more time. It's your market recap show. Thank you. I'm Sean Katina. As you may or may not know, wow, UNG was up 6.07%. Look, what we're going to do on this show is have a great time. We have the return of Miss Danielle Shay. Check out that board, baby. It's options. It's Shay Day. I like that. Shay Day. When she comes on, I like that. It's payday for Warren Buffett. We talked about some of the dividends that he's collecting. I do want to talk a little bit about dividends, and we want to talk about the sector recap. Now that I see that I can write more things on there, like it was cut off, so that's why I said my tweets at the end. Normally it's Sean's tweets. Also, sticky note recap, something that's pretty important to do here every day as well, and that was requested from you guys. But hey, what a fail of a day again, man. Come on, NASDAQ, can't you get going a little bit here? Down another 0.5% is the triple Qs. That's the NASDAQ breaking today, while yesterday below this $400 mark. We're going to see what happens now. Look at this puke at the end of the day. It's never a good sign. Let me just throw this up to maybe a 10-minute chart. Never a good sign when it looks like this, guys, at the end of the day. When you close at the bottoms, uh-oh. Watch out now. Apple was not the apple of my eye today because we were actually short early and got stopped out on that little wick up there, and then it just absolutely tanked. We could have had a reload opportunity there at 183 as well. Look at Apple back down in. It does not close at the low. Apple tomorrow, are you ready? I think it's a long Apple tomorrow. Let's just find out where it opens. If I can buy it against this 180.90, we're doing it. OIH there today as well. A nice little move to the downside as oil. Here, let me go back to a daily chart here for oil. This is getting too big, man. There we go. Let's move it over. Oh, no, now XLE looks so small over there. XLV. All right, look at that. There's UNG, right? We talked about that for Nat Gas. And again, you get that report today. It's a nice move to the upside there for natural gas, but that's a good move right to the 50-period moving average off of that 450 bottom. So if you took that bottom, great. But if you're going to look at this on like a weekly chart, oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. I'm a little bit paranoid after my computer basically freezing because of Chrome there. So look at the weekly chart. You know, if you think you've missed a little bit of a bump up in gas, you have not. Well, you've missed it for sure. Lot of room to go back up to the upside. Starting to get a little chilly here. Now, it's -6. When I'm walking on Bay Street there, it feels like -46. So watch out now. Maybe UNG starting to tick a little bit upside right there off of, again, a good distillate report. XLE downside as well today. The TLT, we had Frank Caburn on from IG. Thank you so much, Frank. You've seen TLT make its move back upside as well. Might be time to short this as rates flip-flopping with the market now. Market down, rates going the other way. So we'll watch out for that, which is why dividend stock's going to be important. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute. XLF, good move, man. You know that Sharifa keeps talking about being long financials. Good move so far, man. The financials, let's go to the daily chart now. Financials, nice move up. Oh, and I want to do this for everybody. So today, XLF, not buckle. XLF up 0.4, but watch this. Let's do something together. This is really cool. So you can actually get this sort of heat map, and you can get it, configure it. Now watch what I've done. I've thrown up here XLF. So all I push is OK. Hold on a second. Actually, I just want to make sure I don't have the other one highlighted too. Yeah, XRT. Okay. So okay. And now it's going to show us what was moving around in the XLF ETF, right? And so today we got a little Allstate action up 2.4%, Capital One down 0.73. Where are the big guys? There we go, Warren. BAC up 0.81 today. TFC. Oh, there was news today about Truist Financial. Just an upgrade. So just an upgrade. Truist Financial today up 1.26%. Let's see what that looks like on a daily. Yeah, nice action there for Truist. Ooh, that's looking pretty good too if we break through that $37 mark there on TRST as we zoom back out a little bit. Nice move off the bottom. So again, TFC getting that bump up. What else was pretty hot here in the banking sector today? Morgan down there, Goldman, Morgan. I don't see JPM, but I will in a minute. There's AXP. We really like that one. American Express, despite credit card debt being extremely high right now, That's good, right? More people using these credit cards, bang, goes AXP all the way up to the upside. I do want to talk to Danielle about this. I told her, let's start talking, because I know that Danielle also likes JPMorgan, and JPMorgan, let's go. All-time highs right now for JPM. Tan yesterday hit. Tan today hit. Again, as rates go back up to the upside, you're going to have a problem with some of these solar names. As solar's been super hot in November and December, check out Enphase. Enphase, huge move up off the bottom. That bottom 75 all the way to 130, 140, now running into 50-period moving average, 200-period moving average, back in for Enphase. Watch out for $100. It has that tagged right there. All right, what else was moving? We had some FXI action. This one's not super exciting to me. The name that's the most exciting out of all of this, look, Charlie Munger bought BABA, right? BABA does have a nice amount of action every single day. I like Alibaba, but I really think I like it above 80. I feel like if we break above 80 on Alibaba, we could get a little bit of a swing trade here. So we'll see. It's just bouncing around 74. Maybe tomorrow, if we get a chance to buy $74, I'm actually going to... You know what? Oh, Fabian, you're busy. You just my sticky note is actually right at my desk there. Just I'm gonna write down here BABA, $74. Yeah, it should be around there somewhere. Yeah, thank you, Fabian, because we do have sticky note review coming through as well. Okay, yeah, so, you know, nothing too exciting today, man. I mean, XLK, of course, is the NASDAQ. Thanks, Fabian, for that. XLK, of course, is the NASDAQ. Sectors that I really like, biotech, we've talked about that. And then I'm going to miss the boat. Like, I don't have as many shares in this, but I really, really like the sector fund here for healthcare, right? So let's do the same thing. I really like AbbVie, and it's actually going to drip into what we're going to talk about next, right? The XLV is a big one. I think healthcare can be something moving forward, and right now. Let's get out of this one and let's just look and see what was moving around here in XLV today. We talk about this all the time. Like, thank you for holding out with me. But by the way, it's Hydration Nation. Time to drink. Thanks for holding with me every single day, because the thing is like, it's me and Fabian. That's it right here, right now. So, you know, Eli Lilly with the downside move. What? I thought Eli Lilly was ripping up here today. What happened to Eli Lilly? 64. Okay, I guess it was yesterday it got that huge move. Hold on a second. I thought Eli Lilly was rocking today. Okay, it was. What happened to Eli Lilly at the end of the day? Strange. Okay. So Eli Lilly today, guys, look at this. Made that move off the 200-period moving average. Let's mark that down tomorrow, 620. Let's watch out for this 200-period. Really got going there. Eli Lilly's story today was actually a pretty interesting one. New all-time high. Eli Lilly. Reason why, though, they were upgraded from neutral to buy from B of A, so Bank of America, price target. Oh, no, sorry, that was Truist. Eli Lilly today, the launch, oh, that's right, Lilly Direct. So now you don't, to get your prescriptions, there's an actual, I don't think it's here in Canada yet, but there's an app, there's an online portal now called Lilly Direct that you can go in and you don't need, you just put in your initial prescription and then it just keeps on auto refilling, and then it will also send it to you. I believe, I have the note here that they're doing free shipping and stuff, so that's really nice, of course. And the FDA, of course, recently approved Zepbound, the Lilly Direct, really, really pushing that. And we actually had, it was Tammy, the Fibonacci princess, on last time, and she talked about how she's had some family members, and she didn't need to disclose this, but that's also taking some of these drugs. And the thing is like, are we kind of, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on the podcast. You know, maybe I'll invite Danielle Shay to the podcast one day. She's too busy. I wanted to say that I just wonder about this Ozempic and Novo Nordisk and all this kind of stuff. Like, not only is it helping, you know, weight loss and stuff like that, what it's really supposed to do is depress cravings and things. So it's really helping people that may have other issues as well. Potentially, well, that's what it is. So first of all, it's, you know, it's for the diet, but also could be helping addiction. And I'm not going to say like it does help that. There's studies out for that right now that it sort of suppresses some of the cravings that one might have. So whether or not it would be good for maybe, you know, puff, puff, pass, things like that, maybe a little bit of alcohol stuff. So I think that this drug could actually revolutionize and has been doing it. You've seen Eli Lilly has been the #1 name here moving forward with this, as well as Novo Nordisk. So definitely have a look. And that's kind of why I like the healthcare aspect of everything, because you're going to get dividends in a lot of these stocks and you're going to get the move higher because, hey, we're spending money. That's why you spend R&D, right? That's why we invest in these companies, to get these outsized moves. Look at Eli Lilly. I bought this thing. I looked over it. I was like in the money like 200% or something. It's an absolute monster. Well, not 200. I guess it was 100. Down from here, well, I bought it actually before, so we'll have to zoom this back out. But a bottom of 326 back in March, all the way up to 630, 640. All-time highs today for Eli Lilly. My only problem is, and I've been selling some of this stock, what if something happens? You know, and I don't want to talk negatively because I know there's probably a lot of people that are on these drugs, but they're still in early stages. Just look, I'm a believer in science, but just like people were fighting sort of the vaccine, saying, what is long COVID? What are some of these long-term effects possibly from the vaccine? We're still trying to find all that out. So you always worry about drugs and moving forward with all of that. Okay, I don't want to keep Danielle Shay waiting for too long, but I did talk about wanting to talk a little bit about dividend stocks. And you know what sort of spiked all of that? Was this ridiculous tweet that I found out. Adair found it for me, sent it to me. I mean, come on, Warren Buffett. Honestly, dude, like, roughly $900 million per year in Apple dividends? Apple pays 0.5%. We looked up BAC 2.86%. I mean, look, today was a good day for me. That's fine. This guy, $2.4 million today. Not fair. Actually, it is fair, actually, because that's what happens when you put your money where your mouth is, and this guy, and it just continues to go. So on that talk, the reason why I think dividends are going to be important again, if we're going to talk about the market pulling back a little bit for rates, then all of a sudden dividends are going to be back in play. The reason why, and a big shout out to Miss Danielle Shay again, I tried to buy one of her favorite names, but your boy missed it. It's John Deere. I tried to buy John Deere on this move down. Danielle, I'm listening to you. But you know where I was waiting? Oh man, these damn round numbers. 350, like Sean, you couldn't have just been bidding 358, 357, you know, but we tried to ping that little stupid bottom back there in May. You know what? She's probably listening. I'm not even gonna talk to her about it, because I missed that bottom, and I know she likes John Deere. I'll probably talk about it with her. Deere and Company, that's a good one, that dividend. Okay, but the reason why the dividends are pretty important is because if rates come back down again, then dividends are going to be back in play. It kind of doesn't make sense to buy a stock for a 5% dividend when you can get 5% free, right? With T-bills and the money market, bonds, corporate bonds, this and that, back and forth, high quality debt, things like that. We're paying 4, 5, 6, 7% sometimes. So I feel like you want to pick up some dividend stock. So if I ask her, she's going to tell me Deere is great. So yeah, you're right. The other thing that I want to talk about was a play like Pfizer. When we're going to talk about good dividend names, the reason why I think Pfizer could be important is if you look down here. Now, there are stocks called value traps where you buy names for a dividend, right? Like if you bought Verizon or AT&T for a dividend, or even if you bought Pfizer for a dividend, all of a sudden that 5% gets eaten up real quick. But if you were patient with it and trying to buy some of these names right now at lower levels, they can actually now, because Pfizer is a 5.65% dividend and near the bottom and in the right space, I like Pfizer for the dividend. Another name that I like for the dividend right now, why not throw some money at XOM? I think energy, big player moving forward here. We do have all the talk. We do have multiple, I guess they're wars. Let's call them what they are. There's multiple issues right now affecting crude oil. Let's just go. I don't think we're going to come in through a recession. If rates come down, oil may look a little bit more attractive. Oil to the upside from here. You can get XOM at, I'm just going to double check what its dividend is right now. XOM, 3.72%. 3%. Another name that again gets hit a little bit, but J&J, a nice dividend for J&J. If you like J&J stock, it's a 4-star rating, 3.02%, a weekly, yearly dividend aristocrat, always raising their dividend. That is J&J. And then again, if you want to just like sort of hop on the back of Warren Buffett and other traders, what about bank stocks for their dividend? Bank of America, 2.8, 2.9%. Bank of America looking pretty juicy. Lots of room to go back up to the upside, and it will pay you to wait. You're right. JPMorgan's another one of those names. But again, JPMorgan being at all-time highs, dividend a percentage of what your price is, you're going to get hit a little bit on that yield, but still really, really nice. And then another name that I like that can go with another 3% dividend, how about Pepsi? And again, you can just get diversified in a lot of these names, high quality names that are part of your life, right? PepsiCo, again, it's not going anywhere. The snack business, Buble. Shout out to Michael Bublé, of course, it's bubbly, those drinks. I really like that one coming through as well. And then the other one, what's up with Bristol Myers? You're gonna get some good evaluations down here. Bristol Myers, I was just gonna look it up to see what it was doing. 4.4% right now, undervalued. We did have Tammy on here as well talking about Bristol Myers, which put that in my head. They do have a bunch, and I'm just reading through it. There's a few drugs in the pipeline for Bristol Myers. They do have a patent loss coming through as well, which is why it's been hit to the downside. Remember, drugs, patents, that's a problem. Do your research. But hey, dividend stocks, I'm going to talk more and more about them. I'll be more prepared tomorrow during our podcast with some statistics and whatnot. But I like dividend stocks moving forward, especially if rates are going to come down. Dividend stocks are back in play. All right, that's that. And I don't know, man, I called this day is a very special day for me because we're welcoming back one of my favorite guests. Is she ready? Okay, how about this? I've anointed this day as Shay Day. It's Miss Danielle Shay at Trader Talk. Let's go. She's back. What's up, Danielle? How are you?
Hey, Sean, how are you doing? I missed you and I missed all of you.
Man, damn, is that a real fireplace or is that one of those gas fireplaces?
Oh, it's a real fireplace. I made the fire earlier this morning and I just threw a little bit more in there. So, you know, it'd be nice and toasty coming in here.
Yeah. Let's just do that every time you're on because I'm getting some nice warm feels. I really like a fireplace. You know, there's nothing like cuddling up, you know, with the dog or with Luke, whatever. You're getting a nice little warm fire there. We like that. It's a fireplace. What's the weather like?
It is so cold.
Is it?
Yeah. It could be colder. I'm sure it's probably colder in Canada, but
let everybody know where you're located now, Danielle. Used to be from Texas.
Yeah, so I moved from Texas into the San Juan Islands in Washington State. So it's beautiful, Pacific Northwest. Weather is quite a bit different, but that's why I missed all of you because the move was a whole situation, but I'm settled now.
I'm really scared. I'd like to move as well, but I'm the same way as you, man. Like one kid's gone, but 3 kids, like all this stuff. Like I'm having like panic attacks right now thinking about emptying out all our storage and stuff like that. Okay, it's look, everyone's really happy. The chat's really happy to have you back, and you were on the main show yesterday, but now you're on the best show, so welcome to this. As we go, look, I sent you a note about these bank stocks because you and I have talked about JPMorgan a lot all last year and probably the year before that. It's now at all-time highs. But I actually don't want to sell JPMorgan up here because it's just working. And I've just talked about dividends. I think JPMorgan continues to work. I like XLF. I think there's room to the top. But maybe it's time to rotate into other names that aren't at all-time highs. What do you think about JPMorgan?
So I was listening to what you were saying about dividend stocks, and I completely agree with you. You know, like one change I made in my portfolio last year was I stopped reinvesting the dividends, and I want to just work on, you know, using those to build cash. And
okay.
When you look at, because I mean, I don't know, you reinvest it, it's so small, right? But the cash will add up. So when you're looking at JPMorgan, I mean, I wouldn't sell it. I think this is a great stock. I think it's the best stock out of the banks. I think, you know, you did a great job investing in it. And I think it can go up into 200, you know, 191, 200, maybe even eventually 216. You've got a monthly chart setup that's breaking out, really nice Fibonacci setup right there. And yeah, I mean, I think it looks great. I'd hold it if I were you.
So tell me this. We have the reason why I think JPMorgan is pretty important is that today's January 4th. They report January 12th. So we're looking at next week. I forget who I was talking about this. I think it might have been Brian Shannon, but we were talking about holding positions into earnings. I don't have a problem holding, and because it's all about options, I don't have a problem holding the core position and holding the shares because it's shares, and I don't know how much we're going to drop down. But you've given advice to many people before is that you like to play options going into earnings, maybe the weeks ahead of earnings. Are we too late now to put on something for JPMorgan with only a week out?
Let me see. Let me bring up my grid here. So, I love how you pointed out the different time frames because it makes all the difference, right? With long-term stocks, I'm not going to bail on those before earnings unless it looks like, disaster situation. If I'm trading options short term, almost always, if it's a swing trade, I'll get out before the earnings report. Looking at JP Morgan, this is my custom tool that I use. It's called the Hot Zone. The thing about this is that I like to look for entries for the pre-earnings timeframe, 21 trading bars on a daily chart ahead of the report. So that would have put the entry for JP Morgan on the 12th of December. So for me, it's pretty late to be getting into it now. You can try the 8-day move, which would have started on the 2nd of January. But I really prefer to get in about 3 weeks before. I think that's where you get the biggest chunk of the move because oftentimes you'll see that it'll start to pull back as people will take profits right before the report. So I wouldn't get in here.
You heard what I said about John Deere there. I took your advice. I was like, I'm going to wait for this because you always told me that you don't even care if they miss on earnings or not. You're always buying those dips. I like John Deere, 1.5%. I just had to look that up. JP Morgan, 2 and change as well. So a little bit under on JP Morgan on the dividend. Okay, yeah, XLF going absolutely insane. I heard you yesterday. We used to be like Tesla sort of fanboy and fangirls, but I feel like you're kind of changing up your opinion a little bit there on Tesla. Potentially for me, myself as well. I'm a little bit nervous. Come over to my screen right now quickly, Fabian. Look, Tesla here, if we're going to go over a monthly chart, and this is kind of what scares me a little bit, Danielle. I feel like this is great for the options game for sure, but you can go all the way back to 2020, including November of 2020. Tesla was at $238. Today we closed at $238. So I've had to sit in basically this position, unless I bought tops or bottoms or something, and been flat now for 3 years, while a lot of these other names have really started to dance around. So this is a monthly chart. I know sometimes we use different time frames, as you do as well. But yeah, I don't really know what to make of this. I'm getting a little bit nervous about Tesla. And let me just find out for you, when do they report? They report January 24th. So we still got about 3 weeks to go on Tesla. The numbers are incredible, Danielle. They just keep on producing more and hitting their targets. And I don't know, but maybe competition's a thing now. What does Tesla look like to you? I'm buying more at 200. I like it for the long term. I like the full self-drive.
So here's the thing about Tesla. I mean, it's definitely had trouble as of late. When you look at the earnings report specifically, the past couple earnings, it's faltered, right? So the last 3 quarters, we had a drop of 6.9%. The quarter before that, a drop of 4%. Quarter before that, a drop of 8%. So they've definitely had trouble. The price cuts at the beginning of last year, I think were detrimental, even if it was just because of the way that the media harped on it, right?
Right.
But I will tell you that I still traded Tesla all the time last year, especially in the options market. There's a lot of high open interest,
Right.
a lot of liquidity. You can trade it up and down. So I still traded it. And what I'll tell you about the monthly chart is I actually love the monthly chart. So I use a setup called the squeeze. And so on my monthly chart, I can see that there's a major squeeze happening right here. And so what that is that's compression. That's,
Right.
like you said, it hasn't gone anywhere for 2 years, basically. So that's the time where I'm actually coming in and I'm building up those long share positions. So I've still continued to buy Tesla stock. I just bought more for my 10-year-old the other day.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I think it's going to break out eventually. It might take a while. But I'm still building up the long-term share position in it.
All right, yeah. I mean, I think I like it for other reasons as well. Just like it's not just about the car. Like first of all, they're one of the only car companies out or EV names that are actually have a margin. They actually make money when they produce a car. So that's we like that. But there is increased competition over there. Okay, look. Do you have any ideas for me? I mean, I was looking. We're getting into earnings season again. Is there anything that maybe you're targeting? I know you and I really nailed that Affirm. Remember, we were long 20, man. Affirm went to 50. We had some options on that play as well. There's a few things that I think could break out moving forward. I'll give you one, but I want you to give me one first. Is there anything you're looking at that maybe some of our viewers might be interested in the next couple of weeks?
All right, so I'll give you an aggressive one and then I'll give you a more conservative one. How about that?
That's perfect.
So the aggressive one that I was looking at in our trading room, somebody was just asking me right before the close, Mara. So Mara has 20% high short float and it was up another 12% today. Anytime you get, a 12% move on something that has 20% short interest, plus you have multiple squeezes on multiple time frames. If you get another gap up tomorrow, then you're going to have, short sellers covering, and that could make for a really good day trade. Now, if it doesn't gap up and if it gaps down, then obviously there's not going to be a short squeeze. So this is one that I'd be watching like first thing at market open. And if you get a gap up, you can probably follow it if there's high volume.
You know what? The thing about Mara that scares me the most is, of course, the impending ETF approval or not with Bitcoin, right? And I just think that it's like we've seen some pretty violent moves over the last couple of days, last month or so, in anticipation of this happening, right? There's rumors that it could be happening as soon as tomorrow. So for me, I'd be a little bit nervous, but I do like it. That's what we take the shots for. That is for sure. Okay, so that's your more aggressive one. Now give me your conservative play and don't say John Deere.
Okay, I do have to tell you, I don't think you're too late on John Deere. I think it'll trade up to 475, but
475?
I agree with you that.
Wait a minute. What is Deere & Company at? What is Deere & Company? Deere & Company's at 392 right now. So
yeah.
You think that we could take this out? Is that based on soft landing? Is that based on equipment being shipped over there to China? You tell me what you know that I don't know besides everything.
So, it just goes back to the longer term chart setups. If you look at the monthly chart, same thing like Tesla. It's been consolidating for so long. It's been building up that momentum. I like it for the dividends, like you were mentioning, but I just think that the monthly chart setup and the weekly chart setup are going to eventually break out. I use a lot of Fibonacci, like your newest guest that you have, the Fibonacci Princess, who I love.
Yep.
And I've got my fib levels up at 475. So I think it might eventually break out of that squeeze, but I'm continuing to buy more of it.
People like your take on Mara. They like your take on Tesla. All right, so I'll give you one of mine now. Mine's going to be Roblox. We've got young kids, right? Roblox ain't going anywhere. Roblox reports, this is a little bit of we talked about this, it reports on Valentine's Day. So I have nothing to do on that day. So we will be watching out for these earnings. Hi, Marissa. I love you so much. We'll do something, I promise you. But okay, I think Roblox has a chance, man. You're bouncing off. You bounced off this 200 simple. We're coming into the 50 period MA as well. I like Roblox. I really think that they're kind of revolutionizing the gaming industry. We had Activision Blizzard bought out by, which camera over there? By Microsoft. I want Danielle on the screen. I want to talk to her. We had Activision Blizzard taken out by Microsoft. We've seen EA Sports. We've seen a lot of this. I think Roblox can dance. I like it down there. I want to be a buyer in and around this $38, $39 mark, right in and around here somewhere. Let Roblox fall down a little bit. Am I crazy or what on this Roblox opinion?
Okay, Sean, so I'm glad you brought this one up, even though I haven't looked at it for a while, because it does have one of my favorite setups. So this was something else I wanted to talk to you about, which is the breakaway gap. When you have a breakaway gap after earnings the prior quarter, and then you have earnings upcoming again, those are typically going to be the best rallies going into earnings. So you can see with Roblox, it gapped up 4.7%. It held that gap. It pulled back into the 34 EMA. my time frame where I look for those rallies going into earnings is going to start around the middle of January. So, January 16th or so. But I actually love the pullback into the 34 EMA.
Really?
I think, Roblox it's an aggressive stock,
Yeah.
right? But you've
Well,
got
I'm not here to play around. You know what I mean? Like me and you, we're gonna make money here. But you know what? When I mentioned Roblox and you're like, yeah, I thought you were gonna tell me that this is the worst idea that you've ever heard of, and I'm glad that it's not the case. So your kid's still too young to play Roblox. What your oldest is 6, 8, something like that?
No, he's 10, and I had to ban him from Roblox because he spent way too much money on it. And
yeah, I'm feeling that.
I was trying to give him allowance for it, but it just was all.
Me and you are very much alike because I give both my kids, I have a 9 and 11, they both get the $13.99 a month, whatever that is, 1,000 Robux or something. They get that, and then about 7 to 10 days later, oh, I need more. And then it's just like, Dad, it's only $5, and I just wind up paying it. But then at the end of it all, it just adds up. You are right. I need to do some accounting with those Robux and potentially ban it. But I actually like it. Sometimes I sit there and I play with them. Brookhaven, they like that. There's a whole bunch of different games. All right. Is it Meta that you want to talk about?
So I wanted to talk about Meta because, I love trading these Magnificent Seven names. I think they're much more conservative names. They're great to trade in the options market because they have a lot of liquidity, and they tend to be pretty great tickers to put spreads on, which I use a lot of the time. And it has earnings upcoming.
Right.
So, if you look at Meta, first of all, it was up today, even though the market was how it was, right?
Yep.
Last quarter with earnings, it didn't have that breakaway gap, right? It fell 1.5%. But what was great about that is you see how after it fell, I mean, the entire quarter, it just continued to trade higher. So you have a decent response to earnings last quarter. And the 3 prior quarters, I mean, they did fantastic, 8.9% gap up, 14% gap up, 19% gap up. So when I'm looking for tickers that may rally into earnings, definitely has to be something that has been responding well to earnings, has a nice pullback, potential buy the dip, and Meta fits the bill for that.
Oh, Danielle, January 31st. So now we are in that month right now for Roblox or for Meta on earnings. January 31st. I wanted to bring that up. Man, like when we have so much fun, I just look down. It's 4:33. I apologize for that. I've kept you way too long. But hey, man, the viewers are loving it. We have great amount of viewership. Oh yeah, and by the over 2,000 watching right now. And we're streaming live also on Twitter. On X right now. So that's very important. New year, new opportunities. Danielle, thank you so much. And you're going to be a regular every Wednesday, Thursday with me now. So thank you so much, Danielle. And hey, congratulations on the move. It's over, so we can take some deep breaths and get back to studying the charts. And by the way, I love your charts. I mean, I know they're so super confusing. For me anyways, there's so many lines on there. That's the best part about it, right? I love that little gap where it shows the earnings gap up and down. I'm gonna see if I can get that on my platform. Always teaching us everything. And Danielle, maybe stay in the chat a couple seconds. Are you in the chat? I know there's lots of people that are absolutely loving everything that you produce for us here at Trader TV Live. So I want to say thank you. And they can find you over there at Trader Danielle on X. So thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thanks. Love joining you.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. That's Miss Danielle Shay. Don't tell her, but I kind of think she's my favorite. All right, that's Danielle Shay. All right, look, man, it's 4:33, and I have multiple things to do still here, and I'm not going to do them, unfortunately, because Fabian, the guy's burning the midnight oil. We don't get paid anything extra for this. We're doing this for you. Well, maybe Fabian does. He should. That's for sure. All right, now it is. Yeah, we'll talk about it after Fabian. Okay, so today, just a few things about the sticky note. Let me just go over to my thing. I just want to talk about it for those of you that are joining me. I put this up every single day, and it means a lot to me that people continue to support it, right? It's just a couple little notes. We got it right here. It's a sticky note. Today we had Micron long. That worked late, but it was off 83, not 84. We talked about an 84 long break. The Affirm short, we'll talk about that. It never got to 45.50. There's my Roblox long. I like the name. I like it into earnings, but February 14th is still a while away. And then there's the Tesla. I thought Tesla could really drop in there today, but it didn't. But you know what? I'm really glad that my eyes were on Tesla today, because just there at the end of the day, look at all the trades we had on Tesla. Every single one, and again, when I go back and forth from this desk to the other desk, I can't, like, our platform doesn't really let you edit out these wicks when you switch platforms from that desk to this desk. So look at this. We were net long early, right? And then all of a sudden, we really realized that once we broke down through VWAP right here, because we kept on trying to hold this 240 area, once 240 broke, I still kept on trying to go long and it just didn't work. But then we finally flipped up into the short. Short there, short again, short here. Stopped out of 75%, but then once we realized that we were still under VWAP and we liked the short, we got right back in. So sucks to have that out, but then we took it right in again. And look, when we go short at 240, look where my out is, 240.20. Like, it's like 20 cents worth of an out. We get it right back in, and then we take 50 cents on the short. Then we were like, oh, baby. Tesla came right into 240 again, and then it was Merry Christmas, man, all the way to the downside, where we take a $2 win on that last little piece there for Tesla. So again, we knew we wanted Tesla long, but we had to switch it up. Just quickly on Affirm, I just want to see where Affirm wound up going to today, because 42 and change. Wow, nice little move down. Look, all of you that took my advice on shorting Affirm near $50, congratulations, man. All of us are now in the money quite a bit there on Affirm. And again, I don't know why this isn't changing. Hold on one more time. Nope, still not changing, but Affirm downside. I said that we'd have a 3 handle on Affirm by mid-January. It looks like it's going to happen a lot quicker than that. Look, thank you so much. I got to thank a lot to Danielle. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me here on the Market Recap Show. Wow, I'm a little bit out of breath here as we go. That was a lot to cover. I'm not out of breath, but just getting tired here. Lot to cover. I want to thank everybody for joining. You can go find me on Twitter, on Instagram. It's at Trader TV Sean. There's so many fakes, but there's only one original, baby, and you're rocking with me right now. Thank you so much to everybody. Hit that like, hit the subscribe. We're doing it every day, but not tomorrow, because I got a podcast to film. So I'll see everybody live tomorrow at 8:30 back on the main show. It's the big show, baby. We're gonna be back there right now. There it is. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, turn those bells around. Thank you so much. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Ciao.